12s buckle up! Seattle's defense is back at the exact moment we need them most and ready to take this unit to a whole new level. But hold up, it's not all good news. The offense just lost a key piece in the run game, and that means Klint Kubiak has to redraw the entire game plan. And it doesn't stop there. The buzz behind the scenes is that an explosive playmaker could be coming in and turning this offense into a nightmare for every defense in the league. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell because I'm breaking it all down and you don't want to miss this. Let's kick things off with the best news any Seahawks fan could ask for. Two of our most important defensive starters are coming back, right when the team needs them the most. Devin Witherspoon, who's been dealing with a knee issue, and Julian Love, coming off a tendon injury, are cleared to play against the Arizona Cardinals. This is the kind of news that changes the vibe of the entire week because we're talking about two guys who completely transform this defense. Witherspoon is pure energy, a guy who flips the tempo of a game with the intensity he brings on every single snap. He's been out for 2 weeks, and even though the defense has held up, you could feel that his presence was missing. He's that type of corner who's not afraid to challenge receivers one-on-one and create turnovers when you need them most. And Julian Love? He's the best coverage safety on this roster and one of the most reliable in the NFL. He's a big help against the run, closes down the middle of the field, and gives Mike McDonald the freedom to dial up those creative blitzes without worrying about getting burned. Getting both of them back means this secondary is at full strength again, and that's huge against a Cardinals offense that's been surprisingly good early in the season. This return also shakes up the rotation. Darian Kendrick, who's been playing key snaps in the slot, will likely see his role reduced but should still get looks in certain packages, especially coming off 2 picks in the last 3 games and riding high on confidence. Ty Okada and D'Anthony Bell will shift back to more special teams focus, where they've already been key contributors. What's interesting is that before Spoon's injury, Mike McDonald hadn't fully locked in Rick Woolen as an every-down starter. Now, with Spoon back, we could see a smart rotation with Spoon taking outside reps, Kendrick in the slot, and Woolen splitting snaps. That kind of flexibility is a luxury most teams don't have. Rookie safety Nick Emanwari is still questionable and could miss his 3rd straight game, but once he's back this secondary is going to be stacked, an absolute nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Now, not everything is sunshine. The offense just took a hit that stings for every fan watching. Robbie Utes, the fullback who's been a breakout piece in Seattle's ground game, is headed to injured reserve after hurting his ankle against the Saints. He'll miss at least 4 games, and that's a big blow to Klint Kubiak's system. This is one of those losses that changes how the offense operates, and Kubiak will have to get creative to keep the run game clicking. Utes has been one of the team's top blockers, with a 67.3 grade on Pro Football Focus, behind only Charles Cross and A.J. Barner. But he wasn't just a blocker. He brought a physical presence that opened lanes for Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker to pick up those easy yards. The good news is Seattle had a backup plan. Brady Russell, who's been listed as a fullback all year, will now take over as the starter. He played 7 snaps there against the Saints and looked solid. Expect him to get the bulk of the work against the Cardinals. But don't be shocked if Kubiak uses A.J. Barner creatively in the backfield to keep defenses guessing. Barner actually has a better run-blocking grade than Utes, and that could be a weapon, especially in red zone packages or play-action looks that mess with linebackers. Utes' absence might also push Seattle to lean more on the short passing game as an extension of the run. Sam Darnold could fire off quick throws to tight ends and backs to keep defenses honest, which also helps an O-line that might be without Anthony Bradford. He's dealing with a back injury and is questionable, which could open the door for rookie Bryce Cabeldue to make his first NFL start. Another option is sliding Jalen Sundle to guard and putting Olu Oluwatimi back at center, where he's comfortable. These tweaks matter because Arizona's defensive front is aggressive, and protecting the pocket is critical as Seattle wants this offense to roll. Another big question is Boy Mafe, one of the team's top pass rushers, who's dealing with a toe issue. If he can't go, Derek Hall and Uchenna Nwosu will have to carry a heavier load, and that edge rotation will really get tested. And if you're still with me, you're a true 12. Help us keep this community growing. Hit that like, subscribe, and stick around because we've got even more breaking news coming up. Speaking of news, what if I told you one of the most electric returners in the NFL could be headed to Seattle? That's right. The rumor heating up right now is that the Seahawks could make a move for Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints before the trade deadline. The Saints are sitting at 0-3 and could go into sell mode if they keep losing, and Shaheed would be a perfect fit for Seattle. He's one of the most dangerous returners in the league and showed last year that he can produce as a receiver too, putting up nearly 350 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 5 starts. Stretched across a full season, we're talking about a guy who could easily hit 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns. That's exactly what Seattle needs to complement Jackson Smith-Njigba and deepen the receiver room. Shaheed's speed would open up the field and create room for tight ends and running backs to operate underneath. It would let Kubiak lean even harder on play-action concepts, something Darnold runs very well and that worked wonders back in his Vikings days. And the price wouldn't be steep, probably a 4th or 5th round pick, making it a move that solves a short-term need while setting up the offense in case Torrey Horton isn't ready to be the WR1 deep threat. For New Orleans, it makes sense to get value now since they probably won't re-sign him. The fit is almost too good to pass up. Imagine this offense with Shaheed stretching defenses deep, JSN owning the intermediate routes, Horton growing into a reliable secondary option, and Jake Bobo converting those third downs to keep drives alive. That mix would give Seattle's offense a whole new dimension and force NFC West defenses to play straight up, creating huge chances for tight ends to feast on play action. Against rivals like the 49ers and Rams, having that kind of speed threat completely changes the game plan and could be the difference in those tough division battles. This is an emotional week for Seahawks fans. The defense is back to full power with Witherspoon and Love on the field. The offense loses a key piece in Utes but gains a chance to get creative with Russell and Barner, and now there's a real shot at adding a speedster who could make this attack one of the most dangerous in football. On top of that, there's a battle brewing in the trenches with potential O-line changes and the need to keep Darnold clean against a blitz-happy defense. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Seattle should pull the trigger on a Shaheed trade or trust Torrey Horton to grow into that role? And how big do you think the return of Witherspoon and Love is for a defense that's already one of the NFL's best? Drop your takes in the comments because the voice of the 12s is what keeps this channel going. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's push the Seahawks to another W. Let's make some noise, 12s. Go Hawks!